What's up, guys? Mega Bleeder here with another episode of Star Technology. We are going to get to some work today. I'm going to walk you through what I did between the episodes, and then we're going to make a bunch of progress, hopefully. This episode's going to take me a couple days to work on, but let's get to it. Okay, so first off, I cheated in an Elytra and put unbreaking on it. I just feel like it's a... I just slammed my face into the wall. I just feel like it's a little bit easier to get around. I feel like it's faster than the jet boots. I can and, will set up more travel anchors, but I think it's a little bit more fun to fly through the city. As you can see, I've got a finished building here. I've also got a finished building here, and then I did a little bit more work finishing out these and our assembling factory building here, and stick the landing. And I just throw those back on. So these guys are set up, and I've got a lot of room here to be able to put these down, so I really like that. These buildings, I said finished, but they're not quite finished. I have the exterior finished, but I don't have the interior finished. I don't know that it's just going to be walls that are glass. I would like them to be a little bit more organized, but I just wanted to get a lot of work done. One thing that I think I'm going to do between the floors, I had set up over here. So what I have here are these player door sensors from Many Ideas Doors. And then these are just trap doors. So what I can do after I walk in through like a set of stairs and I want to move up, I can just fly straight up and they'll open and I can come all the way through the top. If I come all the way up here to the top floor, I can go back down and I just stand on here and they'll drop. If I had the sensors, I can't believe I don't have them here. Let me get another set. So the way that I did these was just put them across here. I guess I did that on purpose. So I can stand here and they'll drop down. And what happened? Why do I not have these on the top floor? Did I not put them on the top floor here? I swear I had them up here. I wonder if they fell off. Interesting. So I don't know if that'll cause me some issues. I swear I had them here on the top. Or maybe that was this building. Maybe I just forgot on that building. Yep, I do have them here. So I can fly up through the floors. Right? And maybe when TPS is a little bit better, these will respond a little bit faster. But after I'm done working up here, I can go over here and just step on this and it'll drop me down to whatever floor I want to be on. Go all the way back down to the ground floor. Over here, you can see it's kind of slower to use the jet boots. This building's kind of finished, kind of not really. This is where I'm going to set up LCRs, and this is going to be where we do our first project today. I do have 2 LCRs set up here, some large chemical reactors that are set up basically how I want to do it. Both of these are set up for sulfuric acid. So I've got a level emitter here, and I want to put the input buses on the front. That way I can see if this is on, because we've got our threefold system here, redstone on, machine on. So if this is on, it will turn on these input buses and let the machine run. And I've got these here so I can easily see, okay, I'm making sulfuric acid here, and if it's not on, if this is on, but the machine is not running, I'll be able to see like, oh, I'm low on sulfur and I'm out of water. That doesn't make any sense. Which I'm not. It's just this is not on because we have way more sulfuric acid than we need. These are all going to be LCRs. I've got another floor here to put more down and another floor here to put even more down. I like the lighting down here. These kind of look like anglerfish, I think. They don't so much look like anglerfish when they're full machines, but I think they look pretty neat here. What I plan on doing is having one recipe per side of the machine, and then I'm going to try really hard to not have any conflicting recipes. So, yeah, that's my plan there. It might be a little bit challenging, but if I do that, there will be enough room to put a lot of recipes in here. I've got 20 LCRs here, and if I put a recipe on each side, that means I've got enough room for 40 recipes, which brings me to the first thing that I want to do today. These are all the LCRs that I have set up, all the chemical reactors, large chemical reactors that I have set up at the original base that's way over there, that's just outside of render distance. These are all set up over there, and what I want to do is continue to move everything from over there over to here. Once I can decommission that base and unload all the chunks, what I plan to do is start Season 2 over here. So I am going to start working on these LCRs, so let's see how long that takes. Alright, so it only took about half an hour 45 minutes, something like that. That was yesterday, though. While I was recording, I got a phone call, and then, had adult stuff to do, girlfriend, dinner, movie, and then, I don't know if I've said it before, but I own a CrossFit gym, so had to go and deal with that. But yeah, here's our stuff. We've got liquid polyvinyl butyrol. This guy's going. It's just a little bit slow. So this one would probably be a good candidate for me to overclock to LUV. And I might eventually move this. So this liquid polyvinyl butyrol, if we take a look in here, 2.5 seconds. So actually we could even go up to ZPM, because I do have 4 amp LUV hatches, so we can run stuff at ZPM. So this would be a pretty good candidate for that. But I'm not like crazy worried about that, because this is really only used in laminated glass. I don't think we use these nuggets for anything. And then the ingots, I want to say get turned into plates. Yeah, and then that's a forming press for laminated glass. So we don't really need this. It's just we're low on, not low. We've got a full drawer of laminated glass, but I think there's a buffer that's filling up back at the original base. So we've got our LCR set up. I don't know, my voice might sound different right now. We had a good time at the gym today, so I was yelling a little bit. But yeah, so let's see. We've got liquid rubber, liquid polyethylene, sodium potassium. I've got our flux dust over here, silicone rubber, methane gas, hydrochloric acid, tetrafluoroethylene, liquid polytetrafluoroethylene, polyvinyl chloride, sodium bisulfate dust, plastic circuit boards, and then butyraldehyde. And these are currently set up on low buffers. Like this has got 8128 stored, and I have it set to 16 and 8. So a lot of these didn't even run because I have disks full at the original base. I have not migrated those over yet, but a lot of these, most of these are pre LCR setup. So over at the original base, I might even be able to like get it within render distance over here. Back at the original base over here, just on the other side of these alloy blast smelters, there's our original LCR setup. So I wanted to get a lot of the chemical reactors that were over here in this area migrated over, and then we're gonna work on moving a lot of that stuff over. But I didn't want to necessarily do all that at once, because I do want to set up more stuff over here and get more and more of the Season 1 base moved over. Once I get the Season 1 base moved over, we will officially switch into Season 2 and then kind of go full on into our production, full on into our progression, I should say. I think what I want to work on now actually is setting up ore processing. And like I said, ore processing is going to go over here in these guys. So these guys are going to get ore processing. I do still have some work to do filling out the ground over here. I'm not 100% certain what I want it to be like. This might just be a big, like, stone, you know, like asphalt looking platform. But I think what I want to do inside of these is stack up some of the multi-block machines. And I've got to figure out exactly what I want it to look like, but I think we'll have like an entrance coming in to these, and the base floor will be somewhere 3 to 4 blocks up. I do need to finish filling them in. These are concrete. This is concrete here, but I'm going to do some glass and stuff, make them look decent. I don't know. And we'll stack up multi-block machines that we can run parallels and stuff like that for the ore processing. Now, one thing that I am going to need, so like for a macerator, large maceration tower, yeah, this guy. So I don't have secure casings, or I don't have all of the casings like auto-crafted. Like the shockproof casing is used for like the large cutting saw. We'll need that. What else? What is this for? Large ore washer. We don't need that, but like these aren't automated. So I do want to get... I don't know if it's going to be useful to automate them. I think it will be. I think it will be. And it's not going to, you know, be too much hassle. A lot of the things, the frames, the plates, and stuff like that, I already need. It's just going to be, you know, putting in recipes over here. So let's see. If we're taking a look at ore processing, like pendelotite, we've got macerator, ore washer. Let's do this. Macerator. We know we're going to need this guy. We know we're going to need some sort of ore washer. I believe that's this. No. Large chem bath. Yeah, this. I think we do have watertight casings already done. But we're going to need that. What else? The chemical baths. An ore washer. That's the same. Centrifuge. Thermal centrifuge. And I want to put down a lot of these machines, actually. Yeah, this guy. What else? And that works for the thermal centrifuge too, right? Yeah, thermal and centrifuge. Okay. And then I think electromagnetic separator, ore washer, that's cauldron. Electromagnetic separator. And the polarizer. So we need that. And we're going to make the casings for all of these. And then I think if we do geode, what's our path for this? If I cut it, I think the best route is to cut them and run it through ore processing. Yeah, because then I can crush it. So we'll cut it first. So we need the cutter, right? We do need the cutter. Large cutting saw. So let's bookmark that. And then let's see. Ore washing. I think it's just sifter. I think that's the only other thing that we need the multi-block for. Large rock sifter. Yes. No. Large sifting funnel. This guy. Here we go. Yes. Okay. HSLA, that's not too big of a deal. So what I need to do is get the secure casing. I need the watertight casing. We'll pop that there. We'll pop that there. The centrifugal unit uses vibration safe. I'll go there. And I think the sifting funnel uses the same stuff. The non-conductive casing. And then finally, the large cutting saw uses shockproof. Shookproof. Shocked acacia totem. What's that? Using an axe on these totems will cycle their expressions. Okay, well, how do I get them? Neat. Interesting. That's a weird thing, and it's only in acacia. All right, squirrel moment there. So let's move that there. Yeah, that there. That there. That guy will go there. Okay, so titanium frames, watertight steel frames, Inkalloy, HSLA, and Hastalloy. I think I've got some of those. I've got titanium. I've got watertight. What was it? HSLA. What's this one? Hastalloy and Inkalloy. I don't have those. Hastalloy, Inkalloy. And that's an assembler. Yeah, I'll put those here. And those are made with rods. LOY. Do I have those? Inkalloy, Hastalloy. I don't think these are automated. I just dumped a bunch of them in the system, and I don't think these are automated either. They are not. So those and those. I'm going to get this stuff set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is how I do that. Basically, you just come in here, put it in the level emitter. Currently, I'm setting the upper thresholds to 128 and the lowers to 32. And then all I have to do now is get Inkalloy and get Hastalloy. This one's Inkalloy, and then this guy I Control A to highlight, set it to 32. This guy we're going to highlight, Control A, and set it to 32. Now, because I have enough in the system, it's not going to make it, but it would if it needed them. So that's those. And then we just have to simply come over here and tell this assembler, which is almost full. We'll do these frames over here. Inkalloy frames. If you have less than, we'll keep with it, 124 and 32. Let's do 64. Then you're going to make those. And to make that, it's going to be these rods on circuit 4. There needs to be distinct buses on circuit 4, which you can also scroll wheel to do this. I'm going to set it to 40, and it'll probably get dumped in there. Yeah. So if we do frames, we'll get those out. Inkalloy frames. Drop those off. Lock it. And then up here, we can actually scroll wheel to move that up. And I'm actually going to reset it. And because this is ZPM, like, it just works crazy, crazy fast. But we'll update that in the not too distant future. Boom. So we got 50 in there. Now, if I set this to like 80, if we watch this guy, I mean, it's insanely fast. I've got a 16x parallel hatch on there, and this is running at ZPM because I've got the LUV 4 amp because I needed a lot of extra speed for something. I don't remember what it was. But now I think that we should be able to set these up, and I think I'm actually going to need to build another assembler. So that other assembler is going to go right here. Now I should just be able to use my copy and paste gadget here, and if I put it, let's see, let's move it over here. That'll be 7 blocks away. If I do that, I can mirror it on this side. So I can have 4, 4, and 4. That should be a ton of assemblers, assembling factories, and we'll do 2 floors like that. And then if I need to make some changes, I can make some changes in the future. I think the only thing... Actually, I think everything is here. When I copy and paste it, I just need the parallel hatch, which I can just click. We've got the 4 amp. So I should just be able to hit paste. And this should completely fill out and do its thing. It'll take it a second because of the hatches. Oh, I need more large-scale assembler casings. And that is large-scale assembler case. That's made in assembler. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll put 1 more casing here. Why are you... Oh, shit. I forgot to set this. I forgot to set this. Don't forget to do that. So we got 245 of those, but that's all right, because we're definitely going to use them. These frames... Let's see, what frames do these use? Tungsten frame and stellite plate. We do have tungsten frames. And are these being crafted? I don't know that they are being crafted. They are not being crafted, so we need to craft these first. That's 64, and these are made with 4 tungsten rods on circuit 4. Boom. Pop that in there. Lock it. And then these will be the large scale assembler casings. And we're going to set this to, how many of these get used per multi-block? 56. So it'll be fine to set this at 128. We will definitely use them. And then we've got 6, 1 on circuit 6. So let's do that. Let's do that. We'll change this to 60. Change that to 10. And distinct buses on circuit 6. And large scale assembler casings. Put them there. Drop it off. Lock it. That's set. This is set. Good, we're fine. So finish pasting that, please, and thank you. Fantastic, and we should see it multi-block. Yeah, look at that. All right, so I just need to wire it up. Okay, so just some level emitters going down now. And we're all wired up. Simple as that. So we've got our export bus here, exporting into this interface. I've got a fluid input hatch down here for like any rubber or anything that we need. And then the way that I'm doing this, I've got a level emitter pointing into this toggle bus so that these guys can just get completely shut off. And I think this is going to be TPS friendly. Not 100% certain. I hope that it is. And yeah, so let's do this over here. We need shockproof casings, 128.64, and I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of this, so I'll be right back when it's done. All right, so all I got to do now, hook this guy up, and we should see it kick on. Oh, wait. Boom, now it's cranking them out. Let's see. Casing, we're going to need shockproof. Oh, wait, that was already there. What else did we set up? Secure. We set up vibration safe. We set up large scale. I moved the large scale over here as well. Let's see, what's this guy? Non-conducting. It's this one. So non-conducting. That's vibration. That's watertight. I moved watertight over as well because we're going to have to move it eventually. And this one was the secure one. There we go. Okay, so now we can pretty much just like copy and paste those machines for ore processing. And the only thing really left that I need to do before I start ore processing is take my toolbox with me first off. And then is set up the rock sifter. Yeah, because we've got sieves and we've got void extractors, but I do not have the rock sifter. So that's what we're going to do over here. I feel like the main area, first area, is going to be macerators. So what I need to do is put a floor down here and figure out some sort of entrance, which I think I'll probably just have to run this straight through here. And then maybe I'll do an entrance back here on this side. Yeah, I like that. So we'll run an entrance through right here, and we'll put the floor 3 blocks up. Or maybe I should put it up here. Nah, this way. This height works better, I think. Okay, so I am going to get that placed down. And I'm going to fill out these walls, get a floor in here, and bring you back. Okay, so I designed a floor that is slowly but surely getting pasted in. I think I'm probably going to need more blocks, but this is what it looks like. I think I'm going to run a staircase up over here. And then this will run up to, you know, a second floor. And I think if this staircase is this tall, this will be tall enough for me to put in a couple of floors. So like this is first floor, second floor, third, maybe 4 floors. And if I put 1 machine on each, I can put 16 machines in each building. So I feel like that might be enough. And I did not prep myself enough blocks. So I need more of these and these. I think everything else got filled out though. Yes. Okay, I'm going to finish those floors. And then the walls take a little bit more time to put in, but I'm going to go ahead and do those as well. And I'll come back once we've got that. I don't know what I'm going to do for a ceiling, and I don't know what I'm going to do for the windows, but we're figuring it out. Real quick, I was running into an issue over here where I just wasn't making enough concrete because we use so much concrete. And our liquid concrete is being made here in this mixer right here. Yeah. So I was just burning through concrete, and I was like, okay, well, let me make like a better mixer, right? Well, the better mixer needs these reaction safe casings, which I didn't think was a big deal, but I don't have Hastalloy X. So I had to set up a Hastalloy X over here, but it takes a little while. I thought most of the resources that I had access to, I already had automated. So now I've got both of these ABSs run Hastalloy, and that'll just take a minute, but that'll definitely be good because upgrading our mixer will be really nice. So I'll put down a mixer here on this bottom floor. The only thing that I'm concerned with the mixer is having some conflicting recipes, but I think we should be okay. We need 61 of these. and the minimum has to be 50. So that means we've got spots for 11, which means we're going to need an output, 2 outputs probably. Like a item. No, it should just be a fluid output, right? It should just be a fluid output. So we can put 10 inputs on this. So that'll be decent. But I think I have everything else here. Yeah, so I'm going to finish doing this while that Hastaloy is doing that. And we'll come back and we'll have a new mixer. And we'll have walls on all of these guys. I've just got a copy-paste gadget here with a section of this wall. I don't know why. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so I just copied a small section here so that I can come over here and hit paste. I'll paste that in, and then I just fly over here to another wall. It'll take a minute to do it this way, but I feel like this is pretty quick. I'll be able to go through and do all of the sides like this, and then just go in and I'll have to rotate. Yeah, so that one's there, that one's there, that one's there. Yeah, I'll just have to wait till those get done, and then I'll rotate it, and then I'll paste in the rest of them. Yeah, you can see here I did a couple of pastes, and our concrete's already running out. And then our liquid concrete, this should already be going down, so I'm not sure why it's not actually. Because if I come over here to... Is it this guy? No, it's a fluid solidifier. I gotta organize these a little bit better, because I don't know where the concrete's getting made at. I literally just had it. These are concrete bricks. That's the dark concrete. It was... Oh, I think it's here? Yeah, it's here. It's here. So, we're just, for some reason, not pulling in the liquid concrete fast enough. Maybe I should double this. What's this? Let's do the math. Let's pull out the calculator real quick. We'll see if we can get it to go a little bit faster. Actually, I just had it in my history. 18,432 times 2, 36, 8. 36864. About 37 buckets. So that's all going to get dumped into here. This is running parallels. And unfortunately, there's not like a better way to make it. Like the concrete just comes from that, so it's just fluid solidifying. So it's pretty much as fast as we can run it, I think. Unless we just run more parallels. But we're back up to 1,000 already, so it shouldn't take too long. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to do something sooner rather than later about our power, because we're, even despite having all of these turbines over here, we're pushing the limit of what we can produce. 6.4 is where we're capped out, but I mean, our boilers don't exactly have a ton more room overhead. I did put in some new turbines in these so that when these finally do burn out, I think they should break, right? And when they break, I think these will automatically input them in there. I don't know. I've never actually ran out of a turbine, so we'll find out. All right. So I've got all the walls in and the ground floor. I also went ahead and put in some doors. I punched out some doors. That way we can... Oh, this one's not tall enough. So we can easily fly through here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, like I said, is get floors placed in. And I got to decide exactly how tall these are going to be. Make it easy on myself. Let's see, 12 blocks. So it'd be like 11 blocks between the floor and the ceiling. I think that's plenty. That's plenty enough to feel like industrial and large and whatnot. Does this staircase interfere with this door? If I put a door... Oh, I can't really have a door here, though. Yeah. That probably wouldn't turn out very well for people walking through there. Yeah, so we'll leave the door over here. And that should work out pretty decent. I just need to get the copy and paste gadget running again to paste in some floors every 12 blocks. So let's do that too. Here we go. I think I got it. All right, check this out. So, admittedly, I spent a lot more time on this than I was expecting to, but here are our buildings. These are our ore processing buildings, and I'm not going to say that they're completely done at this point, but they are essentially all the same. I obviously do not have the roof done. But I feel really good about the interiors. Watch, I'm going to go into one that didn't kind of work properly. Okay, so this is a good example. I don't have the stairs done. But this is like the bottom floor, and they're basically just mirrored all the way up. Oh, yeah, this one doesn't have all the lanterns. Let me grab some of these, because these should be here. And these are supposed to be like, I don't know, warning lights, you know, for some exhaust vents because the machines run and fumes and, I don't know, ore processing, dust, stuff like that. So this is what they look like. And I feel like, you know, having them a little bit darker like this kind of matches the vibe. But they go all the way up. I got these dark glass windows that I had to set up. If I take a look, I've got these crafting. I've got an assembler that's doing these, and then they just easily craft into the dark viewer. That's this guy. So I just ran them through like a stone cutter, a whole bunch of them. So that's what these are. And apparently I ran out of these lanterns, but we'll discover that as we're moving through the buildings. I mean, we're playing in peaceful anyway, so it's not like I had to light them up to make sure mobs don't spawn. It was more, like I said, I was trying to keep them kind of dark a little bit. When we do put like AE2 stuff in here, if I put display panels, anything like that, they'll illuminate the area. And then I also just teleported into another room. Let's just do this. The travel staff seems to be very awkward sometimes. I also worked on another building. Here's the exterior. I guess I'll talk about that. I've got some stairs here. I don't know what this area is going to look like by the time I'm done. I'm probably going to run more of this deep slate through here. I'll put in some bushes and maybe some trees, stuff like that. And here's like the outside of those vents. So you can see it's like the fan on the interior, and then there's these technical blocks that I think kind of look like neat little vents on the outside. I was also working on another building here. I just kind of picked one randomly. What I'm going to do to make each one of these stand out individually is have the casing block from the machine that is in here. So in here has the centrifuges that have these Tumbaga casings. So I went ahead and did like a little bit of an outline here. So all these buildings will look the same, but they'll have these different markings. You can see that I've got them placed down. It is a little bit of a pain because you have to place down the slabs individually with the copycat slabs. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it. I've tried using the Wand of Symmetry from Create. That does not work. It does place down the blank slab. It doesn't, do the offhand place on that. So, but this is about what a finished building will look like. On the outside here, we've got some more vents and some fans just to, cool off the machines. Obviously, there's no functionality to that, but I feel like it's a little bit of form. But I like the way that this building turned out. I kind of just put these vents up here on the roof because it's, the roof. But I think it's pretty neat. I also built up a kind of furnace thing. I wasn't sure what I was going to put on this really small footprint of a building here. So these are the multi-smelters. So we've got an alloy smelter and an electric furnace. I'm going to build this up tall, so there's a bunch of them here. And then I've got like a little access door. And this has got its own little sub-network, where here I'm like controlling bricks. And I should probably set this up higher. Let's do 4096 and 2048. And then we can kind of see this. What this is going to do is turn on this export bus. That's going to export into this interface, which is going to then put those into this crate. And there's like a little bit of sub-network here. And then this just pulls in all the clay balls. I've also got one set up here for iron, nether bricks, and copper. I don't have ore processing set up just yet, but just to keep some copper and some iron in stock. That's a little subnet here. It inputs it into this interface, and then that stores it in this crate, and then the input bus can see the crate, right? So this should be enough for me to have quite a few things. I might have to rebuild this and do like a subnet attached to the subnet, but it works. The output buses are set up here to output into this interface, and then that just stores it back into our main net here. So here we can see copper, and this is just the subnet that's connected with a storage bus and an interface. So yeah. And then over here I've got one of these player door sensors. So I don't have to open the door. I can just walk up to it. It's just a little bit slow. But I can walk away and it'll close automatically. But yeah, so I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today's episode. In the next episode, I want to do more stuff of ore processing and then getting a lot of the applied energistics stuff set up. So I need to redo the logic circuits and then set up the ME assembler. There's one for this, right? Where is it at? Circuit assembling factory. Is it this one or no? Where is the ME assembler? Large ME assembler. This guy. I don't know if I can get this yet. High power casing, computer heat vent. I might be here. High power casing. Where's that at? Right here. Oops. And the computer heat vent. What is this? Stainless steel, IV. I've got all this. I don't have whatever this is. Samarium iron arsenic oxide wire. What does this get used for? The research station. Data bank. Okay, so I'll definitely set this up on like a passive. That's just an assembler. That's not a big deal. And I have all this as well, so we can do that. We can do that without too much of an issue. And then we'll set up ore processing. We will set up ME automation. And coke ovens. So I want to set up, what is this line called? Not petrochem. Just like the creosote, wood tar, stuff like that. So setting up pyrolyzed ovens. I plan on doing that over here. Actually, what happened, so I got really sidetracked. This is funny. I needed bricks, but I didn't have any bricks. So what ended up happening was I was like, okay, I need to put down multi-smelters. So I was looking around, where can I put multi-smelters? And then I started putting multi-smelters down. And I was like, oh, now I have a bunch of bricks. And then I was over here and I was like, I really don't like the kind of pale, washed out color of the granite. I don't really like it. And then I got the idea to put these here. So it all kind of just spiraled. And then I kind of just fell into a little bit of a trap. This was actually the last building that I finished putting these copycat slabs up, and then it kind of just spiraled. I went through a bunch of different options using the technical blocks and the Tyrian blocks. I tried laboratory blocks. I was looking at factory blocks and just couldn't find anything. And then I found these really nice, I think they're really nice, etched borderless bricks. I wanted that like darker color. I didn't want the like the white in the brick. So I was like looking and looking and looking, and then I found that. So I really like it. I really like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments about these buildings and what else I could possibly add to these to give it a little bit more structure, or a little bit more, I don't know, just make it look a little bit nicer. I don't know. Maybe I'll put like some walls up here next to these flat faces, or find something else to put on the outside of these. Maybe I can designate what the building is, like these here. I've got those Tumbaga casings. Maybe I can find a way to, you know, if this is the macerator tower, I can put something here that signifies a macerator. And if this is centrifuges and this is ore washers, I have no idea. But let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think about the series. And as we're getting closer and closer to wrapping up season 1, because this is what we're trying to do here. If you remember, we're trying to wrap up season 1 so we can get started on season 2. And I like to just come and check on my power. Yeah, so I talked earlier about our power going a little bit crazy, but I did set up level emitters. I guess that is another thing I can talk about real quick before I log off. I set up level emitters. So diamonds, emerald, quartz, lapis, and amethyst. If any of these get under the 2 million mark, it will turn on the large sieves here. So these are wireless links, and these are all broadcasting on double sand, because this is sand. And this is a receiver, this is a receiver, this and this is a receiver. So if I do run low on diamonds, you know, because I use diamonds for steam production, if and when I do run low, these guys will kick back on. And I did the same thing up here for dust. I have not set up sand automation yet. Or not sand, gravel. I have not set up gravel automation yet, but we're slowly working towards that. It's taking a little bit of time, but that's all right. I'm not necessarily in a rush to start progressing. I know that there's a new big update coming for the pack, so I don't want to have a lot of stuff that I have to fix. I'm hoping the update does not brick my world. If it does, then I guess I'll just have to stay here and make progress on this world, because I do not plan on restarting. I will just do everything I can to make this world work and make it interesting. But that's going to be it for today's episode. Thanks so much for stopping in.